Time for an American Family News update for you. I'm Bronson Woodruff. Anti-Israel protest leader Mahmoud Khalil is to remain detained in Louisiana until at least next week. This announcement follows an initial court hearing in New York on Wednesday over the Trump admin's plans to deport the Columbia University graduate student. The brief hearing drew hundreds of demonstrators to the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan to denounce the Saturday arrest of Khalil. Authorities say Khalil has been one of the key anti-Israel protest leaders at Columbia ever since the Hamas terrorist massacre of more than 1,200 Israeli citizens in October of 23. North Dakota lawmakers are on the verge of making their state the first to tell the U.S. Supreme Court to overturn a ruling that legalized same-sex marriage in our nation. That ruling is now about a decade old. Similar efforts have been introduced in a handful of states this year, although we're told those would not have any direct impact on the nation's top court. North Dakota's resolution passed the Republican-led House in February, but still requires Senate approval, which is not guaranteed. The White House has withdrawn the nomination of Dr. David Weldon to lead the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Weldon is a former Florida congressman. The Senate Health Committee announced this morning that it was canceling a planned hearing on Weldon's nomination because of the withdrawal. A person familiar with the matter, speaking under the condition of anonymity, said the White House pulled the nomination because it was clear Weldon did not have the votes for confirmation. A reported launch pad problem resulted in SpaceX delaying a flight to the International Space Station on Wednesday to replace NASA's two stuck astronauts. The new crew needs to get to the International Space Station before Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams can head home after 9 months in orbit. Concerns over a critical hydraulic system came up less than 4 hours before the Falcon rocket's planned evening liftoff from NASA's Kennedy Space Center. As the countdown clocks ticked down, engineers looked at the hydraulics used to release one of the two arms clamping the rocket to its support structure. The structure needs to tilt back right before liftoff. Already strapped into their capsule, the four astronauts waited for the final decision. It came with less than an hour left in the countdown. SpaceX canceled for the day. Officials later said the launch was off until at least Friday. You can find more on these stories as well as more news from a Christian perspective on our website. That is afn.net, afn.net. Thank you for watching. I'm Bronson Woodruff.